George Foreman, the two-time world heavyweight champion who defeated Joe Frazier and then astonished everyone by defeating Michael Moorer to become the oldest heavyweight champion in history, may be familiar to you. Stay still, though, for what transpired inside the ropes is a heartbreak that few people are aware of, and it will affect you long after the last bell rings. Because the last twist in Foreman's narrative is nearly unbelievable, make sure to watch all the way through. It all started in 1987, not long after George decided to return to the professional ranks following his gold medal win at the Seoul Olympics. Foreman was a living example of how second acts can truly be greater than first, and his business was growing thanks to endorsements, TV appearances, and even a burgeoning BBQ grill empire. However, tragedy hit his private life in the most brutal way possible, just as his public fame was growing. Two of his sons, George Jr., age 20, and George III, age 19, each lost their futures and his belief in invincibility in an accident that occurred within 7 months of each other. George Jr. was the first in late 1988. At the tender age of 20, he had the same serene assurance that made his father a legend. One evening, he lost control on a slick road while driving home from work and struck a tree. The call came when Foreman was attending a promotional event in Dallas. The weight of incredulity overcame him. His champion son was gone in an instant. The family was starting to get back on their feet when tragedy struck again. George III, who was only 19 at the time, went for a joyride on a Texas highway in the middle of 1989. He also skidded off the road on a rainy curve, which could have been caused by his grief or irresponsibility as a teenager. George Jr.'s casket had just been closed by the funeral home when George was forced to bury his younger son. That year, according to George Foreman, was spent walking through a haze of pain. He has stated in interviews that it felt like a curse I could never outrun to look at his other children, Jeffrey, Leola, and Frida. Once his haven, the boxing gym turned into a frightening place filled with what-if regrets. He attempted to numb the pain with fighting, training, and even food. The label of the notorious Foreman grill reads, "Lean, mean, fat-reducing grilling machine," but George said that he buried his grief in food. The way this tragedy changed George's beliefs, however, is what makes it even more devastating. He notably discovered religion in the middle of the 1990s and became Reverend George Foreman, preaching about redemption and forgiveness. "I had to forgive myself for failing my boys," he has stated in sermons. It was difficult to forgive him since every blow he delivered in the ring mirrored the blows life dealt him during those difficult months. The 77-year-old Hall of Famer is a grandfather many times over in the present day. Even while he continues to preach, box, and grill, the memory of those two sons never goes away. He emphasizes the value of family safety and the frailty of life in his charitable work with at-risk youngsters. By giving free biker helmets, holding courses on safe driving, and even offering scholarships in his kids' names, he has made his tragedy into a mission to make juvenile drivers reconsider their actions. If George Foreman's tale inspires you, here's your call to action. Share this video with someone who needs a reminder that both tragedies and triumphs in life are worthy of our undivided respect, or donate to the Foreman Youth Fighter Safety Fund, which supplies protective gear for high school sports. Because it demonstrates to us all how fleeting and valuable every minute is, even if a man who could take the strongest blows on the planet is brought to his knees.